morning and welcome to another episode of Mortgage Talk Mondays, where we believe that apart from your family, your mortgage and your house are probably your biggest investments, so it doesn't hurt to know a little bit more about them. I'm your host, Mason Kealy, and today we're going to be talking about RRSPs, mostly about how you can use your RRSPs towards buying your first home. Our guest today is going to be Jennifer Ahn. She is an investment and retirement planner in the Fraser Valley, and she's hopefully going to tell us a little bit about how to use your RRSPs and maybe even how to deal with an investment advisor at this crazy time at the end of the year where everyone's trying to get their RRSPs in so they can get their tax deductions. So let's not waste any time and invite her in. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the show. Good to meet you.
Hi, Mason. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. So I was telling our viewers that we were going to talk about RRSPs. You know, the end of the year is coming up, tax time. People are going to be scrambling to make some RRSP deposits, maybe even taking like an RRSP line of credit to get them, to put them into their investments to get those tax benefits. But I also wanted to touch on how those RRSPs can be used by first-time home buyers. And maybe you could enlighten us a little bit there.
Sure. It's a really great strategy that people can use for their down payment if they're qualified as a first-home buyer. The government also recently increased that amount that they can withdraw from RRSP. Usually, if you withdraw RRSP from there, there's a tax implication there, and it is added as your income for that year. But as for the homebuyer plan, it's tax-free that you can withdraw up to $35,000 right now. It was used to be $25,000, but they increased it. So it's per person. So if you're a couple, you can use up to $70,000 to purchase your first home buy.
So you can take that $70,000, like if it's a couple, right? You can take $70,000 out and put it as the down payment for your house.
That's right, for tax-free. Yep.
And then slowly repay it back into your investments over time?
That's right. So you have to pay back within 15 years' time. So that's the minimum amount, 1/15. And sometimes like life doesn't like go as you plan. You maybe miss the payments of one of the. Then that amount will be added in your income of that year, and then it will be taxable for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, for especially for new buyers, that sounds like a really good strategy, because a lot of people, you know, that are going into the market for their first time, they won't have, you know, like $20,000, $30,000 in cash in their bank account, right?
That's right. Yeah, and of course, there's some other rules too. So if you're thinking to buy a home and you want to use this home buyer plan as your down payment, but you're gonna buy a house like next month within like 30 days, and then you purchase RRSP right now to thinking to withdraw for home buyer plan next month, it's not eligible. So it has to be sitting there at least 90 days before you withdraw as a home buyer plan. That's another thing that you need to consider.
So if somebody wants to use that money for this government plan, and say they're buying RRSPs right now for tax time, so you know, December, January, February, March. So then around March, they're good to use that for a first-time buy.
That's right. After 90 days, you can use it towards the home buy.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. I mean, that's it allows younger people getting in, or maybe people that have been working for a few years and have maybe a work RRSP set up or something like that, right? That they've slowly been putting away to. They don't have to worry about scrambling, and that's good to know too. How two people can combine that as well to increase that maximum.
That's right. If you're gonna buy it together as your title. And another thing is, if you have saved up to if you have saved for the down payments in your TFSA or just savings account in purpose to use for the home the down payments for your first home, and you didn't do any RRSP. But if you're eligible for the first home buyer, you can also transfer those money into your RRSP, and you can get tax return, and also you can withdraw from there after 90 days. That's another tip too to think about it. Yep.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm not the expert when it comes to investments, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it would just make sense. You know, if you had, say, 30 grand in your bank account,
Mm-hmm.
why not put it into an RSP, get the tax benefits,
That's
and
right.
then leave it 90 days and then take it out for your down payment? It's like a double whammy, right?
Yeah, as long as you have the RSP room, then you can transfer there.
Yeah, I guess that. And how do we determine the RSP room? Like how would people know?
Yeah, it is on your notice of assessment. It will tell your unused RSP room so far up to that year, and your last year of working T4. Like based on that, you have 18% of your T4 amount, your salary amount, whatever income you have. That's your eligible amount that you can buy, or up to government made a limit about like a 29,000. There's a like exact number you have to search, but there is a limit. Or 80%.
Okay.
Yeah, which one is lesser? So you can
Actually, I remember too, just for all the viewers out there, keep in mind if you've got like a company pension plan or like a share ownership program, make sure you really check those NOAs because that takes away from that 18%, right?
Yeah, the pension adjustments. Yes, is it reduce your RSP? Yes, that's right.
Excellent. So all in all then, what do you think about this government plan? Is it like a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I think it's thumbs up. Like as long as you are planning to repay, and then I recommend my clients to try to repay shorter than 15 years because you're losing that compounding interest opportunity because you withdraw from RSP, right? So it's good to try to catch up within that shorter time than 15 years. So it's good.
But it's still interest free, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes that interest-free period can be better than maybe borrowing from family because borrowing from family and whatnot might be interest-free, but it's very infrequently consequence-free. They'll always remind you.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, I think that anybody who is eligible for the first-time buyer, and then they have RSP or savings to use to transfer to RSP to use this program, I recommend to think about it, and then it's better than delay to purchase house. I think if you can use it for your down payment.
Okay, well, actually, I just thought of something too. So, what if somebody came to you and said, Jennifer, I don't have my RSPs with RBC. Say they're with TD or something like that. How they can still use it even if they're working with you or like if they're doing a mortgage through RBC, does it have to be investments with RBC?
No, it doesn't have to be. Let's say they make a homebuyer plan redemption with the TD, and when they do repayments, they can come to me and then do repayment like with RBC.
Oh, okay. And it's probably relatively easy to switch institutions. Yes. Like I know we switch mortgages all the time, but like when it comes to RSPs, it's still pretty straightforward to switch, right?
That's right. That's right. I can take a look at statements of what they have, and it's a cash or the mutual fund or stock, depends on that. I can recommend if it's
fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate you making the time for us and our viewers. And definitely, if someone's looking at doing those last-minute RSPs, I'm going to send them your way.